Hi, this is Lisa Piper with miracleofdeliverance.com. Today we're going to be talking about 10 ministry mistakes that lead to error. There are so many ministries that have gone into error and destroyed more than they have helped, and we do not want to be one of those ministries. So let's take a look at some mistakes. Number one, the mentality of a prowling tiger. We want to avoid this because it is going to get our focus on people and on the demonic over our focus on Jesus. A prowling tiger is looking for prey. They are ready to pounce at the first sign of what they think is demonic activity or people in distress from something spiritual. And if you'll notice, it's like looking around, waiting for a target to move, waiting to pounce. We do not want to have that kind of attitude. Prowling is going to land you into pouncing, and you will harm more than you can help. There are teams that can tend to do this as well, so we want to be mindful of it. Had Paul been on the hunt for a demon to cast out, that girl with the divination spirit would have been addressed the first time she showed up. But she wasn't. She had been in Paul's presence several times before he addressed the situation. Now, we want to be careful about picking the next target. When you have this prowling tiger mentality, it's like looking around. Who's next? What's going on? You know, the time would be spent better in prayer than it would be picking. So you need to adjust your focus, allow the Lord to move people in and out of your life, and give you direction on what your next course of action is going to be. Now, the goal is to become mature and balanced in ministering. We do not want to create an elitist group of ministers who know everything. This has been a problem in past years with deliverance ministries. I remember when God did a mighty work in me in 1994. I was filled with the Spirit. My husband was not, and suddenly I thought I knew everything and he couldn't teach me anything because he had not experienced what I had experienced. I easily went into error. I did not know more than him, and the moment I thought I did was the very proof I needed to know that I was very wrong. A whole group of people who are working together and ministering together can create this kind of group, and it can cause division. We want to make sure we're lined up in authority and that we are submitted to Holy Spirit. Now, know that not every movement is a demonic manifestation, and not everything you see is Holy Spirit inspired. We need to have discernment and wisdom to know the difference. A prowling tiger is going to look around, and the first time they see something that is familiar, that looks demonic, they're going to want to pounce. I have a friend of mine who has a condition where her nervous system has been messed up, and she shakes. And there's been many times she's gone to different places and people have tried to cast that out. But you know what? That was actually a physical condition. So we want to make sure we're not hurting people instead of helping them. Sometimes the person you're ministering to needs to know that you love them and you care about them more than they need to hear you binding a spirit, casting it out, or trying to tell them to go through the steps to freedom. A woman that I know has a child that was terminally ill, and when she would take her for prayer, sometimes people would barely look at the child and point their finger at the mother and say, "Do you need to forgive anyone?" She said in a conference I was at, maybe I did need to forgive, but the first thing I needed to know was that they cared about me, that they cared about my precious child, and loved on us first. And I probably could have handled being given some steps after that, but the way that they handled it was harsh. Now, be ready to minister when the need arises, but do not go around looking for a fight. This puts your focus either on yourself or on the enemy. In the next set, we're going to talk about the defensive stinky skunk.